Blue face, baby. Yeah, aight. Bust down, Thotiana. Yeah, aight.
Good evening. I am Benedict. I've been asked to introduce this program. So, greetings and good tidings to you all. Welcome to Thotiana Chavez. Yes, the little tot is quite the thought.
What is a thought?
So glad you asked, my lord. A thought is someone who has many casual and or problematic sexual encounters or relationships. Synonymous but not limited to a hoe bag, a strumpet, a lady of the night, a floozy, a skank, a tart, a tramp, a trollop, a hustler, a hussy, a cum dumpster, a foxtress, a mistress, a leg, as they say in Washington, D.C., a puta, as my grandmother likes to call me, a putana, as the nonnas like to call their granddaughters, a Jezebel, and finally, a little cunt.
That's very good. That's very good. Yeah.
Brilliant! Now that we have that settled, please sit back, relax, and enjoy this presentation of Thotiana Chavez.
Hannah Montana, 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 Hannah Montana. I got money.
Gallop apace, you fiery-footed steeds, towards Phoebus' lodging. Such a wagoner as Phaeton would whip you to the west and bring in cloudy night immediately. Spread thy close curtain, love-performing night, that runaway's eyes may wink, and Romeo leap to these arms, untalked of and unseen. Lovers can see to do their amorous rites by their own beauties, or if love be blinded, best agrees with night. Come, civil knight, thou sober-suited matron, all in black, and learn me how to lose a winning match. Play for a pair of stainless maidenhoods. Hood my unmanned blood, bathing in my cheeks with thy black mantle, till strange love grown bold think true love acted simple modesty. Come, night. Come, Romeo. Come. No day in night. For thou wilt lie upon the wings of night, whiter than new snow on a raven's back. Come, gentle night, come, loving, black-browed night. Give me my Romeo, and when he shall die, take him and cut him out in little stars, and he will make the face of heaven so fine that all the world will be in love with night and pay no worship to the garish sun. Oh, I have bought the mansion of a love, but not yet possessed it, and though I am sold, not yet enjoyed, so tedious is this day, as is the night before some festival to an impatient child that hath new robes and may not wear them. Here comes my nurse. And she brings news, and every tongue that speaks but Romeo's name speaks heavenly eloquence.
Hannah Montana, Hannah Montana, Hannah Montana, Hannah Montana. I got money, I got white, I got money, I got white. I've been trapping all damn night. Hannah Montana.
Man, I remember when I was a kid listening to my granddaddy talk about World War II. I could sit and listen to him talk for hours. He made it sound so noble. To hear him tell it, war was a glorious thing. Fighting heroic and victory sweet. Shit, then I grew up and found out what the real deal was. He lived in a time when you knew who the enemy was, so fighting was easy. Nowadays, you can't trust nobody, not even yourself. Because the minute you let your guard down, you're fucked. Get soft for a minute, stop thinking you could relax, and it's all over. All the guys I know who went down really did it to themselves. Because they got careless, got relaxed. First rule of war is never let your guard down. And believe me, this ain't a battlefield. It's a killing ground. And brothers is dropping like flies. You know, black men a lot like Timex. They can take a licking, but they keep on ticking. Slaves were the first to prove that. They said, sticks and stones may break my bones, but first you gotta catch me. And when the white man finally realized he could not run he took to burning them. Now, the KKK took a few good men out, but in the end, they realized that niggas don't burn so easy. The 60s may have claimed to Martin and Malcolm, but the masses kept on marching. And what about drugs? Now, drugs took out a lot of brothers, but even their most powerful shit, PCP, meth, crack, couldn't take us out. Yeah. It's a whole new breed of soldiers out there. Tougher, stronger, smarter, stealthier, like sharpshooters. You know what this new breed of soldiers calls themselves? Sisters. Yeah, that's right, man. Sisters be taking out black men left and right. Cold-blooded and thirsty. She got the most lethal weapon of all. Pop! Power of the pussy. Used to be you could tell the type of woman you was dealing with by the clothes she wore. If you saw a sister wearing nothing but a bra, skirt up to her coochie, and no panties, you know she was a hoe and be right to call her one. But nowadays, women are on the wild, man. Nowadays, all kinds of women. Short, tall, fat, ugly, old, CEOs, bankers, soccer moms, all kinds of women wearing outrageous, scandalous shit. And will challenge you on it. Yeah, that's right. J-Lo ain't the one spoiling her titties out in public. Only difference is hers look good. But the problem is, women will wear this shit and expect men to behave themselves. What the fuck is that? You do everything in your power to get my attention. But if I look a little too long or look the wrong way, you cry foul. And don't let me actually say something, because then you scream sexual harassment. And the worst of it is if I behave myself like you say I should and completely ignore your ass, that's when you really get pissed. Damn. I'm telling you, man. Women are on the wild, got us by the balls, and every day they squeeze a little tighter. I mean, how is it that a woman can go into a man's hotel room, get completely naked, swing from the chandelier, consent to sex, act like a stone cold freak, get off 2-3 times, and just when he about to get his, decides she ain't in the mood. And if he don't get out in a timely fashion, then it's date rape. Come on, man. I know men are dogs, but damn, where's the woman's responsibility in all of this? I'm all for women's rights and the need to feel safe, but where's my right as a man to know what the hell is going on? How you supposed to know how to play the game if every minute they changing the rules? Pop. Oh yeah, we at war. But the enemy ain't who it used to be. Yeah, there's a lot of sisters out there looking for prey and ready for the kill. Ready to have your baby, claim they having your baby, cry rape or spousal abuse, bringing a whole new meaning to the word by any means necessary. That's right, but they ain't taking me out. I ain't going out like that. Not me. And not like that. Damn it.
What is something that Selena taught you?
Well, she taught me a lot of things. She taught me a lot about art. And she taught me how being insistent is the key to it. That no matter what else is going on, and no matter how little people are paying attention to what you're doing, how important it is to keep going. I mean, she was just a great artist, and what came out was kind of magic. So that burning desire to be herself.
My life was the immediate negotiation of violence within my highs and without.
But already you have expectations. I see that in you.
Survival and safety are not enough.
Your hopes, your dreams, if you will,
leave me with an array of warring emotions. I am so very proud of you.
your openness, your ambition,
Your aggression, your intelligence. My job in this little time we have left together is to match that intelligence with wisdom.
part of that wisdom is understanding what you were given.
A city where gay bars are unremarkable. A soccer team on which half the players
Speak some other language. What I am saying is that it does not all belong to you. That the beauty in you
is not strictly yours and is largely the result of enjoying an abnormal amount of security in your black body. Perhaps that is why when your father discovered that the killer of Mac Brown would go unpunished,
he told me he had to go. Perhaps that is why he was crying, because in that moment
he realized that no amount of privilege can ever match sustained assault launched in the name of the dream. Our current politics told him that should you fall victim to such an assault and lose your body, that it somehow must be your fault. That it somehow must be your fault. That it somehow must be your fault.
Merece todo, merece todo, yes. Ese culo se merece todo, merece todo, merece todo.
I are so pretty. Dear Mr. President, I know you will never read this letter. I'm fully aware of the fact that letters to you don't even make it to the White House, that they're brought to an office building in Maryland where servant civil types are paid to answer the sane ones. Crazy, hostile letters like mine. The ones written in crayon on butcher paper. The ones made of letters cut out of magazines. These get sent to the FBI, analyzed, Xeroxed, and burned. But I send them anyway, once a day. And do you know why? Because the loathing I pour into these pages is so ripe, so full to bursting, that it is my firm belief that anyone touching them will absorb into their hands some of the toxic energy contained therein. This toxin will be passed upwards. It is the nature of bureaucracy to pass things vertically, till eventually, through a network of handshakes, the Undersecretary of Outrageous Falsehoods will shake hands with the Secretary of Pernicious Behavior under the cloak of night, who will on a weekly basis in cabinet meetings shake hands with you before you nod off to sleep. In this way, through osmosis, little droplets of contagion are being rubbed into your flesh every day. In this great country of ours, there must be thousands of people who are sending you poisoned posts. We wait for the day when all the grams and dwams and dollops of detestation will destroy you.
We attack from below. Our day will come. You can try to stop me. You can raise the price of stamps again. I'll continue to write. I'm saving up for a word processor. For me and my cause, money is no object.
Love, Zilla.
La torta no sé por qué no la he visto, pero vamos para la cama a clavarte el bolsillo.
If you weren't scared, what would you do?
I do just what I'm doing. Generally, I'm not scared. I mean, I'm scared of the coronavirus.
Government, let me tell y'all motherfuckers something. I don't know what the fuck this coronavirus is about. I don't understand how that shit was from. Now all of a sudden this shit is on motherfucking tour. And let me tell y'all something. I ain't even going front. That bitch is scared. I'm a little scared. Like, she got me panicking a little. And a lot of you motherfuckers thought it was a joke. Like I was thinking, like I was thinking, right? But that shit right there, just because you think you're immune to it, guess what? Your pocket ain't, bitch. Because a lot of shit comes from motherfucking bitch. So if you wonder why your motherfucking weave or your fashion over motherfucking packages haven't arrived, guess what, bitch? Ha ha ha! Coronavirus! Coronavirus! I'm telling you, shit is real. Shit is getting real. Ha! Woo! Bitch, I'm scared.
Mami, si estás viendo esto, te quiero mucho y te extraño mucho. Y ojalá que no creas que soy tan loca, porque sé que este proyecto es muy loco. Y sí, pero siempre me has aceptado como soy y esta soy yo. Gracias por enseñarme tanto, gracias por enseñarme cómo amar sin condiciones y cómo quererme a mí misma y cómo ser independiente y cómo tener confianza en mi poder y cómo ser fuerte Gracias por enseñarme todo y por criarme. Te quiero mucho. I'm so grateful for you guys. I don't know who's in here. I don't know who's watching this. Maybe you paused this and went to go get a glass of water. Maybe you're in the bathroom. I don't know. But just know, wherever you are, I love you. And you mean so much to me. Mommy, if you're listening, and if you're not one of those people who walk to the bathroom, I love you so much. And you've taught me so much about how to be a hard worker and how to love unconditionally. And, you know, I didn't talk to you that much about thesis in my 4 years at BU because I wanted to surprise you when I did my live one. And unfortunately, this is how it's happening. I mean, not so unfortunately, because I've had a lot of fun creating this, but I just wanted that moment where you could sit in the audience and I could look at you and address you properly, how you deserve to be addressed in front of my class, who are the most important people to me in my entire life. That's how I wanted to address you. And I hope you can feel that right now. Because it truly is a special moment, and I got to see so many theses that came before mine and other people's wonderful families sitting there watching their children who I love so much soar and shine, and it was very special. You deserve the world. And every day I work so hard because I want to give it to you. And you've given me the world, so I just want to give it back. You've given me everything I could ever imagine. You have been the best mom in the world, and you've given me more than you ever had. And for that, I thank you. You would do anything for me, and I would do anything for you. I love you so much. Next I'll talk about my brother Anthony. I don't know why. I'm so inspired by you, Anthony. You've taught me so much about love. I love you like my child. Like, you are my baby. Like, I don't say this to you very often, but like, I picture you in my head like you're 3. And I kick myself every day because I just want to be the best sister I can be. And I think about those times when you were little and you would ask me if I could play with you, and I would just be a dumb teenager or like a dumb 12-year-old and tell you to leave me alone. And all children want is for us to play with them. And I think about that a lot. We did have a lot of amazing moments, don't get me wrong, we played a lot, but I still, now that like I went to college and life is just going by so fast, I wish I could have cherished those moments even deeper because they mean the world to me. At the end of the day, you are who I have forever. No one knows our mom like we do. No one knows our family like we do. No one knows me like you do. And I'm just so proud of you. You are an extraordinary human being. It feels like you've lived so many more lives than I have, and you have so much to teach me. And I'm just so grateful for you. Next, I'd like to address my class, who I miss so dearly. You're like my other siblings that I got to grow up with and play with. From the beginning, I've just felt the most deep connection to each of you. Like, I know how you guys breathe. Like, it felt like we were a unit. I mean, we are a unit. And I'm sure it was cut short, but at the same time, our experience at BU felt like lifetimes. Like, we went through so much together that it was too full. It was overflowing with love and support and space for each other. Those silent moments where someone is discovering something and we're all learning more than we ever have before. More than when we're up there with Paula or Mark or anyone. Like, just watching you each learn taught me so much. So you guys are all my teachers. And you guys are everything. Like, if I know anything, it's because of each and every one of you daring to be brave and open and just remarkably yourselves. So for that, I owe you everything. You've made me who I am today, which is one crazy thought. Yeah. Thank you, Kathy and David, for being so selfless and such amazing human beings. You've taught me so much about, it's like when you think you've given enough to give more. And that is such an invaluable lesson that I've learned from you two. You guys are so positive and welcoming and loving, and I'm so grateful to know you and to feel loved by you and to love you guys. Thank you to my faculty for watching me explore these past 4 years. I am so grateful that you guys took the time. It just takes so much energy to deal with us, and you guys are all like, I don't know how you do it. Like, you guys are just so resilient, because we are not easy to handle, and you guys are like, I literally just am doing this all for you, and we're just like, no, we are gonna resist it. And I know I've been like that. So I am so grateful for each and every one of you. Thank you, Mark, for always telling me the truth and for never tolerating anything other than my full potential in that moment. We could all use someone who tells us the truth, who's like so honest with you that sure, the truth hurts, but then it'll set you free. So thank you for doing that for me these past 4 years, and hopefully after this, because I'm gonna need it. And yes, that's what I'm excited about, is like, now all my mentors at school can be my mentors in my life, because I don't know anything. So I'm gonna need to hold your hands when I leave this place. Which, I mean, I guess already happened. I don't really want to say that because I don't have my diploma, but anyway, thank you guys. Let's keep going! Do you ever talk to her? In your mind, at least?
No, in my mind, my relationship to her now is mostly in the form of sighs and sadness that she declined. She painted until the day before she died. She could at the last point she was mostly drawing rather than painting. She did all these wonderful drawings with the Sharpie, and toward the end she could hardly control her hand, and yet she made all these. I have books full of hundreds of these drawings of hers, and she just kept going and going and going, and her facility disappeared. But in retrospect, the drawings got better and better. They're very moving as they record, her deteriorating manual dexterity, as well as her knowledge of herself. So she has an awful lot of drawings of a head, which are not a literal self-portrait, but they are a self-portrait, and many of them have tears.
Is this a dagger which I see before me? The handle toward my hand. Come. Let me clutch thee. I have thee not, and yet I see thee still. Art thou not fatal vision, sensible to feeling as to sight? Or art thou but a dagger of the mind, a false creation, proceeding from the heat-oppressed brain? I see thee yet, in form as palpable as this which now I draw. Thou marshallest me the way that I was going, and such an instrument I was to use. Mine eyes are made the fools of the other senses, or else worth all the rest. I see thee still, and on thy blade and dudgeon gouts of blood, which was not so before. There's no such thing. It is the bloody business which informs us to mine eyes. Now, o'er the one half world,
his watch thus with his stealthy pace, with dark winds ravishing stride, moves like a ghost. Thou sure and firm set earth, hear not my steps, which way they walk, for fear thy very stones prate of my whereabout, and take the present horror from the time which now suits with it, whilst I thread he lives. Words to the heat of deeds, too cold breath gives. I go, and it is done. The bell invites me. Hear it not, Duncan, for it is a knell that summons thee to heaven or to hell.
Me gusta el olor que tiene la mañana. Me gusta el primer traguito de café. Sentir como el sol se asoma en mi ventana y me llena la mirada de un hermoso amanecer. Me gusta escuchar la paz de las montañas, mirar los colores del atardecer, sentir en mis pies la arena de la playa, y lo dulce de la caña cuando beso a mi mujer. Sé que el tiempo lleva prisa para borrarme de la lista, pero yo le digo que ay, qué bonita es esta vida, aunque a veces duele tanto y a pesar de los pesares, siempre hay alguien que nos quiere, siempre hay alguien que nos cuida. Ay, 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 qué bonita es esta vida, y aunque a veces duela tanto,
Girl, she braided my hair so tight, she threaded a couple memories up there. Talking about I'm just grabbing what little I can.
When I went to pay her and was $50 short, I said the same thing. I think about sex all the time. How I've only had one lover in my life. Only one time. Rodrigo Cruz. And I almost had to, that despicable trucker who kept on touching my knees. But I ran away from him. I took my chances in the rain. But even he couldn't stop my endless daydreaming and night dreaming about sex. This obsession of mine about Rodrigo's wrinkled back. Oh, my legs wrapped around his face. This tidal wave that started sometime when I was younger, when I lived in that little room, when my papi bought me a bicycle because he wanted me to count numbers over and over. He said it would teach me about the nature of time. And I tried and tried. I really did. But I didn't learn much. I just was so grateful to be outside my little room for once. Then, Papi hired Rodrigo Cruz to work on his boat, the Celestina. And I would sit at my window and watch him while he worked. He was beautiful. I wondered if I was in love, and he would look back at me and stare. And his hair was so long and gray. And I wondered, is that what love looks like? And I don't know how many years passed. I didn't know the word years then. I learned it on the road when that trucker taught me all kinds of words, like years and now and minute and century, and it must have been years because years are longer than days. I learned this. And Rodrigo's hair was long and gray, and he snuck into my room, and he did his dirty thing, and he left me. And my parents died in the other room, and I had gone out to see because the house had grown so quiet. And there they were, in their little bed, holding hands. A green bedspread, half covering their wrinkled bodies. They were naked and pale and very, very dead. That's the one time I stopped dreaming about sex. When I called the police and told them Mommy and Papi were dead. And I ran out into the rain and I got scared. And I lost all track of time. Because I was sure they'd blame me. And in my endless stay in my one room, I didn't learn much. But I learned by reading detective novels that when somebody dies, the police always come to take you away and kill you with a lightning chair. That's when I hit the road, pregnant, looking for Rodrigo Cruz, angry and excited because Rodrigo Cruz was the only man I ever had sex with. And I love the word sex, and I can't stop thinking about sex with Rodrigo. And if I could fuck all day, I would. Oh,
I could see the husband so clear in the novel. How the thoughts would start to take shape in his mind, as they have in my own mind. I mean, not the same. No, not the same. He is well educated and surrounded by culture and wealth. And I am just a cigar roller in a factory. He is well bred and sophisticated. I barely get by in life. But with this book, I'm seeing everything through new eyes. What is happening in the novel is happening to us. You might not want to admit it, but Anna and her husband remind me of us. Except I'm more like the husband.
So, what does that make me then? Like Karenina?
You are the one with the secret love, not me.
Oh, come on. It's late. It's time to go to sleep.
That's exactly what Anna said when the husband confronted her about the lover. It's late. Let's go to sleep.
I think you're taking this a little too far.
Am I? Have you ever heard the voice of someone who's deaf and has no sense of direction or place? Because it doesn't hear itself, and it doesn't know if anyone else in the world hears it. Sometimes I want to have a conversation with you like this, like a deaf person, as if I couldn't hear you or myself, but I could just talk and say everything that comes to my mind, like a shell that shouts with the voice of the sea, and it doesn't care if anyone else in the world hears it. That's how I'd like to speak with you and ask you things.
And what's the use of talking like this? What sort of things do you want to ask me?
Things you wouldn't tell me. Afraid I might not understand.
Like what?
I'd like to know what she's like. And what does she do to make you so happy?
Let's stop.
Why?
Because I don't want to talk about these things.
So what's going to happen to us, Paloma?
I don't know. Do you want a divorce? We could travel to Reno and be divorced in 6 weeks, but your family will be opposed to it. And the same with mine. So divorce is out of the question.
And if I tell you that I want to cut my hair, change the way I dress, and take on a lover?
Say that again?
What I just said.
You want to have a lover?
Yes. Like you do.
What happens now?
I have the same right as you do.
This book will be the end of us.
Don't you think we've already come to the end?
No.
You don't make love to me like you used to.
Well, you and I...
It's alright, Paloma. It's alright. There's something that Anna said, and I keep repeating it to myself. If there are as many minds as there are heads, and there are as many kinds of love as there are hearts, I could try to love you in a different way. I can do that. And you should try to do the same. What advice would you give to young artists about creating their work?
The thing I say to every artist is that you got to play. The most important thing is to play. And playing means that you're involved with your vision and your materials and your process. When sometimes artists ask me about career suggestions, I say I can't give you any because I never tried to make a career. I don't know how to make a career. I don't think you should think about making a career as an artist. What you should think of is playing and creating something that is an expression of something about yourself in the world. I always say I became an artist because I didn't want to have a job, and I don't want to make the making of art a job. So that's what I would say to every artist, young or old. Don't make it a job. Don't have a career.
Devouring time, blunt thou the lion's paws, and make the earth devour her own sweet brood.
I am sensing a storm is coming, they're calling me out to play.
Pluck the keen teeth from the fierce tiger's jaws, and burn the long-lived phoenix in her blood. Make glad and sorry seasons as thou fleets, and do whate'er thou wilt, swift-footed time.
You're gonna remember my name.
To the wide world and all her fading sweets, but I forbid thee one more heinous crime. Oh, carve not with the hours my love's fair brow, nor draw no line there with thine antique pen. Him in thy course untainted do allow for beauty's pattern to succeeding men. Yet, do thy worst, old time. Despite thy wrong, my love shall in my verse ever live young. Say you love me, say you love me.
heladera.